and let us all do we can to build a better future.
All right, so essentially, this is shifting gears. Single-family resident tenants. These are essentially single-family homes that are being rented by individuals and families. The demographic on that is changing. This is information from a single-family rent forum. It was an industry forum. What they've noticed is that the average single-family renter in many markets is now between the ages of 24 and 40. Millennials and blue-collar workers are much of this demographic. Salaries averaging $60,000 to $70,000 a year. There's also more single-parent homes in that genre. Now, also in that demographic, the other thing to keep in mind is that there are people who sold their homes but now are stuck renting because because housing stock is in such short supply, they can't find a place to live and they can afford. Plus, on average, according to this article and this panel, the average cost for housing has gone up about $500 for many families. So what's happening is people are renting these homes. They don't want to be. This is we've always had a situation where some people prefer to rent a house. They don't want to live in an apartment building. They don't want neighbors above them or below them or to the side of them. That makes sense. But they don't want to buy because they're not going to stay in the area for too long. Mm-hmm. There are things that there are good reasons to rent a house. But now this is people who are stuck renting the houses because they don't have other options. They cannot afford other options. Or maybe they were homeowners. They thought they were going to be able to get something after selling their place, and now they're stuck and paying out their income in rent and not being able to save, invest it, or put it into a home of their own. This is a shift, and this is actually coming from this is a real estate industry publication. This is not some spin. This is a real estate industry publication.
Well, homeowner, the whole idea of the American dream was to own a home, to own property, to create generational wealth. Uh-huh. And when you have politicians that forgive the banks and forgive Wall Street for example, causing the 2008 disaster, the economic recession that we went through in 2008. What our politicians did with the help of our media, they gave Wall Street and the banks a green light to do this again and again and again, because none of them were held accountable. No one who led to the 2008 economic collapse was held accountable for their crimes. And what they did was criminal to us. Yeah. We bailed them out. The American taxpayer bailed out Wall Street and the banks and the corporations. Now, the media has given us the propaganda that they know what they're doing. The man in the suit and tie knows what he is doing. The man in the suit and tie is also wise because he knows about money and business and finances and profit. But oh no, turns out they were risking our money, which caused us then to bail them out. None of those big brain geniuses in Wall Street got us out of the mess. They got us into the mess, and now they're going to get us right back into it again. Now look what's happening here in America. Every time I leave my house to go to the studio, I'm seeing more houses being shut down. I'm seeing people being evicted. I'm seeing businesses being shut down. This is happening because our politicians have allowed it to happen, and we have contributed to this as well because of our silent, obedient consent to our politicians. So to anyone that's a diehard Democratic voter or a diehard Republican voter, don't look me in the eye and tell me, oh, my team is better because X, Y, and Z. The politicians have built this environment so that we can constantly be abused. These politicians, again, don't like us. They don't think about us. They don't respect us. Yeah, I'm going to bring in Bernie Sanders and AOC. They don't respect us. They don't like us. They don't think about us. Because in all reality, you'd think they'd be raising the ruckus against their good old friend, their pal who exceeded expectations, Joe Biden. But they didn't do that. They keep on letting things happen. And now all this talk about, oh, we got to vote Democrats because the midterm, here comes this big red wave. The Democrats let that happen. The GOP is, again, it's a corrupt party. Kicking them right now is pointless because we know what to expect from the Republican Party. Absolutely nothing. And in 2024, we're going to get a clown show again. Trump's probably going to be running in the Republican primary. The Democrats, I don't know what they're thinking was putting all their chips with Biden. But then there's our own clown card that we're going to see with the Democrats, which is, turns out there's going to be Klobuchar, Kamala Harris, Bernie, Warren. So we're going to see all this stuff again, and it's going to be somehow snapped in with the progressive movement, and it's going to, again, derail everything, which is why I say on this show, progressives and independents, everyone needs to break away from the two-party system. Our politicians have built an environment to where it's not okay for you to own a home because it's going to be impossible. They want to make sure that you suffer, that you own nothing and you'll be happy about it. That's not the American dream. No one wants to live like that. No one should be living like that at all, period. But our politicians, Democrats and Republicans, are making it happen. And they're doing it for their constituents. Not you, the voter, but for the banks, the corporations, Wall Street, and the top 1%. You, the average citizen, do not have a seat at the table.